Okay, so you're a Japanese learner, but you're not in Japan. You can read and write, but eventually you're gonna need to work on your communication skills. You try and find a Japanese conversation partner, but you don't want to pay for it on Italki, and you're convinced no Japanese people live within 100 miles of you. You've tried Craigslist, you've tried Christian Mingle, and J-Date to no avail. And at this point, you're really wishing you would have picked up German instead. But fret not, Japanese conversation enthusiasts. I'm gonna teach you guys how to find a conversation club near you so you can practice more and pay less. Thank you all to my Patreon supporters that make this video possible. You guys are bamf-tastic, and I respect that. Of course, what I'm talking about is a Kaiwa club, a conversation club. They have these all over the world, and I'm here to show you guys where they are, how to find them, and what to expect. I've actually been spending the last month going to these clubs to try and see if they're even video worthy, and because I'm here, let's just say, yeah. Now, what exactly is a Kaiwa club? A lot of people think that you just have these outside of Japan, but I've actually found that there's a ton of government-run ones inside of Japan. There's actually tons of government-funded programs for pensioned older people who are retired to teach foreigners Japanese, but that's a whole separate video. We're just gonna be talking about, hey, I don't live inside Japan, how can I find these clubs? 99% of these Kaiwa clubs are run by some sort of society or even a alumni program for people who lived in like the JET program. It's basically a place for people who are intermediate or above speakers of Japanese to go, keep their language level up, hang out with other people that have, you know, lived in the mother country, and a place to drink a lot of beer. Chad, what's a Kaiwa club? Kaiwa just means conversation. That's the literal translation. If you guys have been to Japan, lived in Japan, you guys probably know a Kaiwa. It's an English conversation. Sometimes they're schools, sometimes they're just clubs. How and where do I find one? Easy enough. Meetup.com usually has a ton in every state, but 90% are dead. So it's gonna take you guys a little bit of trial and error to figure out. Here in the state of Colorado, I found no less than 7 Kaiwa clubs that meet up either once or multiple times throughout the month. Easiest way to figure out if it's dead is if there just hasn't been any meetups. Scroll down and see if there is any. If there's been one in the last month, it's at least worth writing them to see, hey, do you still run this club? Is it still meeting? Can I come? My guess is you can whittle these down from 10 or so down to probably 3 really solid ones. If you could find one that's run by JET alumni or some sort of Japan society, even better, because you're probably not just gonna run into anime fans who speak kawaii and desu, which should be avoided almost at all costs. Another great way to find these groups is to find a Japan society near you. Most states I've searched have one, and doubly so if you have a major city in your state. Believe it or not, there's even ones in Iowa. Who would have guessed? Japan societies run all sorts of things from kanji classes to karaoke nights and outreaches to Kaiwa clubs. And the first step to finding this group is just Googling Japan Society of blank. You'd be surprised at how many turn up around you. If you can't seem to find one in English, a pro tip is to actually switch to typing your city or state in katakana and then put Nichibei Kyokai, which basically means Japan Society or Association. And don't worry about typing it if you don't have a Japanese keyboard or can't be bothered to figure that out. I've actually typed it out and put it in the description, so if you guys want, you can just copy pasta the term. Papa Chad's here to do the work for you. If you type this in, you're probably gonna come across a ton of Japanese pages, and hopefully one of them will say something in katakana of your city or your state. I've even been lucky enough not just to find Kaiwa clubs, but to find English Kaiwa clubs. Clubs for Japanese students studying abroad who want to practice English. Yes, you're not getting Japanese conversation, but you're making a friend in your state. And if they're going to an Kaiwa club, they probably want to work on their English, which means it's not very good. So if you guys go and hang out, I don't know, at the movies or at a diner or something outside that club, you're gonna get a huge amount of opportunities to use Japanese to bridge that gap. Yes, it's backhanded, but there's only one victor in language learning, and that's the person who becomes fluent. What can I expect? Well, most of these meet once a month or twice a month, and usually at some sort of bar or restaurant. Just for personal reference, the last one I went to I showed up with on time. It happened to be at a craft brewery that was also a pizza joint. I went in and saw a bunch of people walking around, nothing that really showed me, oh, this is probably the Japan group. I went to the bar and got a Shirley Temple, and then walked to the back where I thought they would be, and there were a bunch of tables with a bunch of people. Now here's the tricky part. One of those tables had one Asian. I don't want to be presumptuous and walk up and start speaking Japanese when this just might be a college group that happens to have a Chinese friend in it. So I just hovered around. Didn't see any anime t-shirts or anything that said Japanese, but I listened, found a group that was speaking actually quite high-level Japanese. I was shocked, and that obviously went bing bong, this is the group. It was about 7 to 8 people, all of them probably past the age of 25, but none older than 45. I was thoroughly shocked. They were all at least intermediate level, and some of them even married to Japanese people, so needless to say, their Japanese was all very, very good. There was a lot of people that ran travel companies, people that were ex-JET alumni and ALTs. Now, I got nothing against talking to people that are lower level. I did it all the time when I was in Japan because I like helping lower level Japanese speakers. But if you are wanting to work on yourself, let's say you're a weightlifter in a gym, yes, you are gonna show your scrawny friend how to lift and work at his level. But if you're gonna work on yourself, you need to up the weight. So it's really refreshing to be in a group full of speakers that were at least my level, if not higher. Really, you're gonna wanna at least be intermediate level to get the fullness out of these groups. Of course, you can go in as a beginner, but expect it to be more of an interest group because really what you put into these groups is what you get out of them. Which, nothing against interest groups, but you're not gonna get fluent speaking English. So if this helped you, if you guys are gonna go to those Kaiwa clubs, if you guys are gonna use this as a tool for when you're not in Japan to help your conversation and not spend $1 billion on an italki teacher, it would help me tremendously if you do a couple of things. First, like this video down below. The SEO wants engagement, so if you like it and comment, it actually helps this video get found by more people. Questions, comments, concerns, or compliments, always welcome in the comment box down below. I read and answer all of them. Next up, again, I want to share this with as many people as I can, so if you're a language learner and you know other people learning the language, consider sharing my channel. I put out 3 videos every week. I put out a podcast on Tuesday, a Wednesday video, much like this, where I talk about Japan, Japanese people, the culture, and like a billion other topics, so subscribe if you want, share it with people, it helps me a ton, and I would love to get to know you guys. And if you have any direct questions that you need answered one-on-one instantly and you don't want to wait for my comment respond, find me on a Saturday. I do live streams where we watch anime together as a collective online on this channel, but a lot of people use that just as a method to ask me questions and bounce things off me, and it's a great way to get instant gratification. And also, after live streams, I have a Discord server that you can join in and talk to me. If any of this sounds like your cup of tea, I hope you guys subscribe and stay around a little bit. Anyways, I'll see you guys on my Saturday live stream. Love hard, love deep, be kind to one another.